And welcome to another episode of Never Caught Offside with me, your host Alex Voltaire. Here with my normal guys. We've got David and we've got Miguel. What's really good, boys?
All good, all good.
Yeah, good,
Good,
good. Some good
good, good.
preseason matches so far. Yeah.
You've been indulging. You're indulging. Did you see us? Did you see Liverpool today? I was trying to watch it while trying to do work because it was like a 11:30 kickoff, and yeah, I was pretty impressed with what I saw. But we could talk about it later. I want to get straight into it. Yeah, I got some unpopular opinions only because what the last 2 weeks it's just been a lot of transfer stuff, and not been much movement the last few days. Over the last couple of hours, there have been some things happening, but we've already kind of like spoke to them. But we will address those also in the show. But I want to have some good conversations and have some unpopular opinions. Okay, so first one. Okay, there's gonna be a few of them. I reckon there's about three, maybe four topics, depending on how well we do with time. But the first topic is going to be a bit of a doozy. So, anybody who is a Newcastle fan or Liverpool fan, doesn't really matter. It's like a tug of war right now. Um, don't know how you're going to feel about this opinion, but this is my opinion. To be fair, they're all my opinions, and obviously we're going to discuss it as a collective. So you guys can give me your 2 pence, 50 pence, 10 pence, £1 on it, whether I'm gonna break your piggy bank, use the change, whatever. Okay. So first popular opinion: Alexander Isak is overrated and not worth 150 million. I'm just putting it out there. Who wants to go first?
So I don't mind. So if
Go ahead.
what metrics are you basing that unpopular opinion on?
Everything,
Everything. Okay. Okay. So if we,
everything.
okay, that's
Or
fine.
should I? Or should, you know what, let me. Okay. Do you know what? Let me drop what. I, Let me drop what I want to say about it, and then you can see whether you agree with it. Now, the other day I was just, I think it was the other day. Yeah, the other day. What's today? Today's Wednesday. So Monday night, I was just laying in bed. I was on my phone and stuff, and it was a video again talking about Isak, and he's agreed personal terms and all of this. This is when the rumors started happening, and obviously today we've seen a lot of content creators coming out saying Isak has agreed deal, a good contract with Liverpool already. Alright, cool. So I thought, you know what? Let me go and watch Isak's all his goals from last season. And I was underwhelmed. Apart from a screamer he scored against Liverpool where ball got pulled into him, one touch to dummy or to duppy Van Dijk and then lashed it past the keeper. That was the only pure strike from that kind of distance, that kind of venom all season. Yeah, he scored another pinpoint goal in the League Cup final where he's side footed it, slapped it bottom corner. I get it, but that venom finish where you remember that goal where he took it one touch and bang, it was in the back of it before the keeper even dived. That kind of finish. Apart from that, a lot of his goals tap-ins, almost bundle it in. Fair enough. Yes, he has the all-around play, which I understand. This is where the value in him is there. He can go wide, he can cut in, he can drift in. He's got skills, he's got a bit of pace on him. But in terms of clean finishes, do you know who's got better finishing goals than him? Darwin Núñez. You're gonna laugh at that, but it's true. I've seen Darwin Núñez take the ball from the right hand side, from the right wing, cut in and curl it with his left foot past the keeper. I've seen him scoop the ball over the keeper's head. I've seen him turn in and wrap a ball top corner. I'm not seeing that with Isak. I'm seeing Isak destroy some people, dumpy people, bring it round. But watch a lot of his goals from this season, and bare of them are in the box tap-ins. Fair enough, you need your striker to be scoring tap-ins. That's bread and butter all day long. But I'm thinking for 120 million, I think maybe Hugo Ekitike could do that job. Do we really need Isak? And is he really worth that type of money? Because I'm looking at it as what Liverpool already have and what they've brought in. What we needed is somebody who would take the chances given to Darwin Núñez. Because if Darwin Núñez was slapping the chances he was getting, no one's paying 150 million for Isak. Nobody. Arsenal not doing it. Liverpool not doing it. Nobody. It's only because now Liverpool have come to the table. Isak's like, you know what? This is probably my chance to go, and these lot really want me. I can fill that position. But if Darwin Núñez was scoring the chances that we were creating for him, we wouldn't be in this position. But I'm watching his goals. I'm like, I like his play. It's slick. It's got the celebration. But I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with having Ekitike. I'm fine with, if we decided we weren't gonna go for Ekitike, we weren't gonna go for Isak. I'll be like, cool, we've got a new striker. We might sell Nunes. We might bring another second striker in because unfortunately we lost Jota. And if we sell Nunes, then we've got no first team strikers. So it makes sense to go and get two. And it feels bad that we've robbed Newcastle of not only the first team target, but we've also taken the current number one striker, and probably one number one strikers in the country. So that's where I'm starting off right then. I made his goals. It does not give me 150 million. We're not seeing like Mbappe goals. We're not seeing Lamine Lamar goals. We're not seeing Robert Lewandowski goals. I'm seeing tap here, tap there, bundled in. Yeah, he's got the instinct to the. As soon as the ball drops in that box, he can get it in off the post. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying he's supposed to be scoring screamers, top bins every game, but for the kind of money, I want Sergio Aguero. He can do that. He'll be whipping balls top corners. You know, barely you'll see him score a tap in. Luis Suarez as well. Like those kind of clean finishes where it's different type of finishes, but watching his 22 goals in the season, I'm telling you, at least 17 of them are tap-ins,
How many
one long range,
how many assists has
rest
he
are
got?
pennies.
How many assists has he got?
I don't know. I don't think even got up to. Didn't get close to double digits of being,
Okay.
but he doesn't need to make assists. It was Jacob
Yeah.
Murphy that was killing it for them. I
Yeah.
think Jacob Murphy got something like 12 assists or 10 assists that season. And when you watch his goals, a lot of them came from Jacob Murphy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my kind of, and that's why I feel like he's kind of overrated because of the price tag. As a player, I think he's one of the best. He's really skillful. He can do the jinky stuff. And obviously he can score. Ball in the box, he'll put it in. But
Mm.
then I'm like, I think you could get a 40 million striker could probably do what he could do given service. So that's me.
Yeah, I think stylistically, when I look at him, when I watch him play, I like how he plays. I like watching him play. I'll go to a match to watch him. I'll pay money to watch him because he's got skill, he's got technique. But the type of goals that he's scoring, like you say, there are a lot of tap-ins, but I think that's more to do with how Newcastle play.
Hmm.
They progress up the pitch. They've got three really good midfielders. They've got good wingers as well. They always like to get balls in the box. So he's just always there at the right time. So at Liverpool, he's going to have Wirtz behind him. He's going to have Salah behind him. He's going to have on the left wing Gakpo, right? So he's not going to have to do a lot of work anyway, right? So yes, it's going to be tap-ins again. But if you think about all the great teams, like Aguero, for example, he will score screamers, but there was a time when he didn't really have a lot of good players behind him. But he took the mantle. So I think Isak at Liverpool will still be tap-ins, will still be around the box, but I don't really think you need him because you got, I can't even say his name now.
Hugo.
Yeah, yeah,
Just say Hugo if you
yeah,
can't say
Hugo,
his
yeah,
name.
yeah, Hugo, yeah. So if you do buy him, I think you probably end up playing him on a left wing, you know, left wing alongside Gakpo,
Nah, I don't
and
think
he's
so.
not a left. He's not. He can play on the left wing, but he's not primarily a left winger.
At
Um,
that point, if you're going to buy him to play on the left, you might as well buy Rodrigo. What's the point?
exactly. Yeah,
I
exactly, exactly.
I
But
I
but
hear
but
that.
but at the same time, you need a striker because if Nunes goes, you're gonna need one more striker. You can't just have Hugo all season. So
Well, I feel that if we don't get Isak, we'll just we'll just go into the season how it is, and we will just put change formations, do false nines, do what we have to do. Even with the centre back situation, we'll have to play central midfield the centre backs. I think it's gonna happen, but the only way I see Isak going and playing like a left wing is if we need to change something. Maybe someone like Gakpo's having a stinker, and it's like we need to find another attack who could open up
Mm.
the game, and so that would be definitely someone like Isak who would come in. I don't know if David's frozen or he's falling asleep. I
No,
don't know what it is.
I'm here.
Was it?
Staying still,
I'm
poker
here.
It's
face.
good. It's good. Bro, it's good. It's good
I'm
still.
here.
It's like your eyes is closed.
No, 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 no. I'm still here. I'm still here.
No, we can we can we,
Listen,
we can hear you, but the screen is telling us you're sleeping.
Is it? Oh, you can't. I'm not moving.
Nah, there you go. There you
Oh,
go.
okay.
You're moving again now.
Okay.
Yeah, you froze for a little while there. That was a good 10 seconds. But yeah, what about you, Miguel? What do you think? Is like overrated? Is he worth 100 million? That's right, 150.
150, no way. I think, yeah, he's got great output, and I think he was definitely up there last season. I think there was only Salah ahead of him. Was there anyone else in between them?
Haaland.
No, Haaland had less than Isak. He had a injury hit year, no?
Yeah, but he was still third top
No,
goal scorer.
it was still one of the top.
I
Yeah.
think he was third. Was he? I'm sure Haaland came out with over 20 goals last season. You lot fact check for me.
Yeah, I'm
Because
trying
I
to
think
bring
it,
it
I
up.
think it was Salah, Isak, Haaland, and Buemo, I believe.
No, that was the previous season.
No, that was
So
last
last
season.
season it was, yes, Isak was second with 23. Haaland
Yeah,
was third with 22.
22. And who was fourth?
Fourth was Chris Wood.
Oh, Chris
It was
Wood.
for
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes. He hit 20.
yeah. He
Hmm
had a good season. He had a
Yeah, he did.
phenomenal season.
No, we will talk about him on one of our next podcasts. What happens
I
with
think
Nottingham
there's a lot of
Forest?
things you need to bear in mind when you're thinking about it, because I think we were speaking about it earlier in the group chat, where you have to, when you look at like whether it's 100, 150 million, you have to look at it objectively as to would that 150 million, hypothetically speaking, be better used spread out across the squad or strengthening other areas that are priority. Like for me, I think as a Chelsea fan, I'm hoping you guys go and spend that money, because I don't believe that's your priority. I think you got issues in the centre back area. Gomez is showing issues with his Achilles again. You got Konate that's like one foot in, one foot out. So right now there's a lot more question marks in that back line, and obviously Allison, hopefully everything's fine. He's had to come back to deal with some personal matters. So there's a lot of
Yeah,
things
I haven't read what that is, but it's
rumbling on in the background with Liverpool, and it's been a tough year so far, tough end of the year, coming into the new season.
but with that being said, I do believe what Liverpool are doing is they're trying to get one thing done at a time, not trying to do multiple things. Just like when the whole Verts saga was happening, that took almost 2 weeks to get done. And then we went and addressed Kirkes because it was coming. And to be fair, only one team was really coming in for Kirkes. So as soon as Verts got done, Kirkes get done. Now Etiki got done, and then now it's we need to sit down with Newcastle and get things done. Once we have sat down and that's concluded, I think Liverpool will go and get a centre back. Um, I think this has worked out well for Konate because I feel like Liverpool won't get Mark Guehi only only if maybe Joe Gomez is going to be out longer than before, and the options that we were after we might not able to get them yet. Then I think Liverpool may press the button and go for Guehi, but they're definitely gonna have Konate get close to his terms, sign him up because we can't go into the season with him just not knowing what he's going to do running down his contract. So we need to have him sign a new contracts. Then that's a conversation with Guehi because Guehi really wants to sit down and say, I'm not sitting on this bench.
100%.
And it's like, but I thought there's enough football for everybody.
But this is what I'm
But
saying.
Konate's made it clear though. He's made it clear. He said he's not signing a new contract.
He will sign a new contract if you give him his bread. Yeah, give the guy his bread. If it's a get bread,
I'm pretty
if it's
sure
whole meal,
Trent's in those DMs. He's
no.
like, yeah, hola. Da, da, da.
It's good over here. We got sun. Yeah, Liverpool's dark and it rains all the time. No,
Montana, yeah.
it's I haven't seen Real Madrid make an official bid for Konate, so they must have had there must be something there with his agents saying, well, we're actually close to signing a new deal with Liverpool.
But saying all of that, look, we're just over 2 weeks away from the start of the season. You only have one more preseason match effectively. You're playing two with Atletico Bilbao on the same day, which is a bit weird, but anyway. Um, But if you take out the penalties Isak scored, then you're talking about 19 goals that he scored because he's did first 4 penalties. He's not taking penalties ahead of Salah. No way on
Nah,
this
he's
planet.
no way. He's no way. So then we're gonna see
Yeah.
Isak with clean, with
So
an
it's
Andy Cole type vibes, no penalties.
But I think he will link up. He will have what Nunes is so frustrating with. Nunes, yes, you might be subbed on and he might score a couple of screamers, but then for every goal he scores, he'll miss like 5 or 6 sitters, which is incredibly frustrating. It's like last season, I think when you guys we were playing against you and we won 3-1, there was plenty of opportunities for Nunes to convert some
I
goals
think he had
and
a header that was point blank range and headed out for a corner. And it's like this is the same guy that has said again could take the ball from a left wing, curling and turning and just whip it top corner, but then would miss a tap in from like 5 yards out. So it's we can't have that. I'd rather you tap it in for 5 yards than what do you call it? Than hitting it for 25 yards. Because it does make no sense to me. You did the hard things look easy and make the easy things look hard. It's almost like an opposite. It's just like what's going on. But if Liverpool do sign Isak, they have to sell Nunes. But because Nunes, not right now, there's no bids for him. So maybe Liverpool might not even go for Isak and just be like, okay, we're gonna go and prioritize something else, and we're gonna go and get another centre back, which Liverpool do need. But I've heard really nothing about Liverpool centre backs. Maybe the market is now totally overpriced for centre backs, and anybody that Liverpool come seeing, they see coming, before they even sit down, they'll be like, but we're talking 50, 60 before we even. But this
Yeah.
is this is this is this is this is what's gonna that's what's mostly likely gonna happen. So we've gone. So that's the first one. All right. So it's like overrated, but to be fair, David, I don't think you've even answered it. Did you think he's overrated?
It's such a harsh
Because
word. It's a
you were
harsh
coming
word to
out. So
use. It's a harsh word to
let's
use. Yeah,
so
but
first of all let's address the interesting conversation we had in the group chat where you were comparing the goal ratios of Victor Gyokores, and it's like I thought that was a bit, I was thinking, why would David do that? Then I thought, it makes sense. You signed Gyokores, the
mm,
Swede, and now you're just throwing. I thought you were just throwing in some shade. You're just like, let me just throw this in. Let me just test the waters here. I'm gonna throw a span in the works here. I thought all of a sudden, I was thinking, what is he trying to do? So what were you trying to say? Why did you just decide to just throw in a fact? Nobody asked for it.
oh, you know what? When you asked a question about Isak being overrated, I just said to myself, okay, so how can I compare him with other strikers?
Oh, so you
It,
went for Cocker
no,
straight
no, no,
away,
no,
yeah?
no, no. It just so
Yes,
happens.
you did.
It just so
All right,
happen.
just so it
It just so
happens.
happens that he's got another striker at Sweden. Obviously Gyökeres plays for Sweden, Isak plays for Sweden, and I just saw that he's got a high goal ratio. It doesn't mean that he's a better
But
player. It doesn't mean that he's a
but
better
but
player.
you but we know why.
Why?
We know why.
Why?
Yeah, Gyökeres is the blunt instrument used to smash, and Isak is the elegance.
Yeah, I'm cool with
Yeah,
that.
he's
I'm cool
he's
with
like
that.
a swan. He's like a swan on water.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
cool with that. But
and
what?
Gyökeres is like a pigeon in Leicester Square going for bread. It's, I want that bread.
Let
Yeah.
me ask you this
That's
question, Alex. If you had no strikers and you could take one of two options, would you rather take João Pedro and Liam Delap for 90 million or Isak for 120, 130 million? You
I'm
want to get
taking I'm taking João Pedro and Liam Delap for 90 million.
Of course, that's a logical
It's
answer.
a logical. It's logical. Like no matter how much I love it, I think Isak is better than both of them. That is more value for money.
mm, fair
It's
play.
only because it's only because Liverpool have got that space for PSR and we can spend the money. That's the only reason why. But I'm telling you right now, if Jurgen Klopp was there, he would say, "I'm getting two for the price of one." But he was still in charge when we went to put 115 down for Caicedo, and then we ended up getting well, we ended up with the one you're looking at, well, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai and all of that. So you put all that together, it's what Szoboszlai 60 mil, Mackay's 35, Gravenberch's 35, deals, but you were still looking to put 115 down for Caicedo. But Klopp knows, he knows that this is gonna be the best DM in the Premier League, or one of the best DMs in the world. So just like a Van Dijk, just like a Allison, Caicedo was going to be that next guy that was going to be a specialist in that area. So I'll let that slide. I'll let that one slide. But yeah, definitely I'll go for the two, and not even just two because two sounds cheaper than two seems better than one, less price. No, it's the quality. I feel that the Lap is a striker who is going to do bits. He's young, he's raw, but this guy can really finish. And if he plays in a better team, he will bang. And I said to myself, if nobody gets the Lap this season, they're sleeping on him because somebody was gonna snap him up. And I was right. I remember what before even he went to Chelsea in towards the end of last season. I was saying this to you boys.
We were talking about all
I
year. It
was
was
saying it.
David and these Arsenal a lot
I
that was
said the lap would
saying
be
the
a.
lap
I said the
was.
lap would be a striker that Arsenal should go and get.
He wanted to come,
And
but we couldn't. We didn't sign him in time. Obviously, Chelsea. He was
do you know what? It's
quicker.
because he's like, oh, but the lap is like he. It's like, wait, hold on. He played in the Championship and it came to the Premier League. You should have signed him, but you waited for Victor Gyokores to go play in the Championship, then go to Portugal, then come and then tell his agent, yeah, you see that bonus you're gonna get, that 7 million bonus. Nah, bro, I'm sorry, you can't
Listen,
have it.
it's just Arsenal trying to move like Chelsea. They heard he used to play for Brighton. They're like, oh right, he used to play for Brighton. He must be the next big player. Come on.
No, you know
All
what? It's
right.
for me. I'm happy anyway. It's a good signing.
Well,
I think.
it's
I
a good.
think.
Well, this is a really good, decent segue to go into our next unpopular opinion. So again, this is another one I came up with. Yeah, don't worry. Maybe in the next one I'll let you guys throw in your ones. Yeah, but this is another one, and I've seen this and I thought this would be good. So my unbiased opinion: Victor Gyökeres will be a backup to Kai Havertz for next season. I'll let the honourable Arsenal fan give his argument to that.
I don't think there's any basis for that because Kai Havertz goal scoring record. I mean, he done well at certain points for Arsenal. He scored quite a few goals before he got injured. You know, at one
Hmm.
point he was doing really well. He was scoring goals, but I think, and Gyökeres is a new player, and you always got that element of you have to work your way into the team. But I don't think
Hmm.
I don't think they would pay 65 million to make him a backup to Gyökeres. I think Havertz can play in many positions. I think we've tried him in midfield, we've tried him up front, we've tried him on the right wing. You know, he can play in many positions. So I think we'll find a way to play them both. But most of the time, I think it'll be Gyökeres playing as a striker. I think it.
How do you play them both?
Well, like I just said,
That's
like I just said, there were times. There's been times where Havertz played in midfield. Played it. There's been times where he played in midfield. So
but if all your midfielders are straight, no injuries.
he won't start.
Kai Havertz doesn't even get in there.
You know, yeah, definitely he won't start if everyone is fit, no injuries. He's not going to start. I think Gyökeres will start, but I think at the beginning of the season, I won't be surprised if
If Havertz
we
starts.
slowly Havertz start and we slowly bed in Gyökeres because his first Premiership season. I think Gyökeres definitely can score more goals than Havertz. I think that's a given for me. Even if you guys don't rate him, I think he will
No,
score more
well,
than Havertz.
I rate Gyökeres. I
Yeah.
thought the only way he starts this season is gonna be down to Havertz being the last part of the season injured. Now it's like Gyökeres, I feel like he's ready to go. Havertz is like I think he's still gonna be wrapped in cotton wool for at least the first couple games. First game it's against United. That's going to be a tough game. I'm not too sure whether that's a game he should start unless he's certified 100%, undoubtedly fit as a fiddle and he's good and he's match ready. If not, Gyökeres. But again, Gyökeres has been fighting the last 2 weeks. I don't think he's trained.
No, I think he had a I think he had his own training, but we got a pre-season match tomorrow
Just like
against.
Rashford, you just
Yeah,
see him in
yeah,
someone's back garden,
yeah, yeah,
just doing some runs.
yeah.
I think there's a
So
lot of variables, to be honest, because I
okay,
think a lot of the murmurings, if you watch the training clips and everything, Havertz apparently, like, off the back of him getting injured, Arteta instructed him to bulk up, work on his strength. He said, let's
Yeah.
use this time effectively to prepare you for the upcoming season. So I think we will see a different Havertz.
is this why we saw
Um,
those pictures of him looking beefed up? But it was
Looking beefed
actually
up.
AI.
Yeah, yeah. No,
and
he's actually
then,
beefed up, to be fair.
but I think it's going to be unpredictable. Arteta does that kind of Pep style thing where he does these funky ass experiments in the first few games of the season, and then naturally, when some things don't work, he reverts back to what he does now. But I think he gets bedded in slowly. I agree. I agree with you, Alex. I think he'll come off the bench, people a little bit more tired, and I think it gives him a better opportunity to grab a goal. But look, he's got the number 14 shirt. I think that's pretty much setting the expectation. So we
I
have to wait
was
and see.
what I was watching a lot of his goals for Gyokores, and I feel that he really does manhandle a lot of the centre backs in Portugal. Like
Yeah,
really manhandle.
All right, sorry,
yeah.
and Man City, sorry. Just have to add that in there.
Yeah, you had that one game against Man City. Well, I think
Yeah.
there was someone trying to read us. Did you hear about that stat that he only scored 2 goals against the top clubs in Portugal? All the lower clubs. That's where he
Stat
was
padding.
feasting. He was feasting on them. He was going to Nando's and getting a whole chicken with no sides.
12
You
penalties.
know. So what? Hey, you have to convert them. I'm not.
What
I'm
about
not
Haaland?
hating.
How many penalties Haaland
You,
scored?
all right, do you know? Doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
matter. It
Goal's a
doesn't matter.
goal.
Goal to
A
goal.
goal. A goal's a
Is he
goal.
getting penalties at Arsenal?
Of course not. Saka's a
No,
penalty taker, but
it's
still,
yeah.
so even if he doesn't get penalties, I still think he'll score 15, 20 first
I
season.
think he'll. I believe that he'll get 12 goals. I believe that he will do it.
But then to my other point, can you imagine Gyokores manhandling Van Dijk and
No
players
way.
of that caliber?
No way. It'll be a mistake. Yeah, it'll be a mistake. I
How
don't
many
think he's got
how
the
many
talent.
players can manhandle Van Dijk? Let's be honest. Come on.
Not manhandle. I feel like he'll get beaten by a skill.
Hmm.
You're not gonna outmuscle him, but you can,
He can
maybe a
outpace
tricky
him.
little step holder.
He can outpace him.
No,
Van Dijk's
No, the
no,
lost a bit of
no,
way
pace. He's
the way
lost.
the, the
no,
way the way the
no,
way
no, no, no.
Van Dijk telegraphs and
No, no,
it's immaculate.
he's like you can't. Who do you ever see anybody outpace him? Because he's already there. He's 2 steps ahead. Like he knows what to do, and he's got that stride. Nobody does him really for pace. I feel like it's a bit of skill, a bit of trickery, position yourself well, and you could get it. Because at the end of the day, he's not Superman. He is human. He's gonna make mistakes. Remember that goal against it was we lost 3-2 against Fulham. Muniz, the ball dropped down. He gave a little nudge. It was a little nudge, doesn't
Mm.
matter. Brought the ball down, turned around, and then finished it. That is the kind of goal that when people do score against someone like Van Dijk, it's like that. They've duppied him. He's where they gone. That's it. But you're coming at him, and he can see you. It's like, well, what do you do? But if you're already behind him and you make a movement, then
Yeah, it's
that
kind of
something's
like
gonna.
JT in that regard. So even
That's
if he
like,
loses more pace, I think he'll still be all right.
yeah, it's like But if you're behind him and you make the pass around him, then it's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. But yeah,
But you know what, Alex? I want to say about the
go on.
Portuguese league. Yeah, like you're saying about him
It's a
scoring.
good, it's a good league. It's a good league.
No, it's not even
It's
about.
a good league.
Obviously, it's a good league. It's a
It's
decent
it's
league.
very it's
Yeah,
rated like eighth.
yeah. But
Do you know
but
the
but
do you know the championship is rated higher than the Portuguese first
okay,
division?
okay.
It's
But
crazy.
he has scored in the Champions League, and he has scored at international
Yes.
level.
We're
So
not
so
down. Wait,
so
someone's
no
there out his
no. But
goal
what I'm
scoring
saying no.
records.
But what I'm saying is a lot of people are saying he's
Okay.
Portugal is a shit league. Blah 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 blah. But he's
No
scored at
one's
different
sitting
levels.
here.
He's scored at different
No
levels,
one's sitting here
right?
does that. I get that, and
He's got a higher goal
I
ratio
think
than
he will
Isaac
score.
at international level. Yeah.
But we're not talking
So,
about international football, are we?
but I'm just
Wait,
saying that
let me
represents
just
part of his
But do you
goals.
know what it is? But you know what it is though? Isak gets deployed like out kind of wide. He's the linker guy. He's the danger guy. So it's just everybody's eyes are on Isak and trying to double up on him. while Gyokores is just running around making sure that he can
The
he
free
can
man, yeah.
score the goal. That's a
Okay.
free man. So Isak does the dog work.
Mm,
Yeah, he does
mm.
the dog work, and Gyokores will finish off the chances. So
Let me just put it out there. Wasn't it Nunes that scored like 36 goals in his last season with Benfica?
Yeah, we know that.
Portuguese.
We know that. I mean, we know he scored a lot of goals,
Just
but
saying, just saying.
you know,
Success in the
I hear
Man's
you.
trying to
Portuguese
talk
league
about
doesn't
this little
translate to success
Portuguese
in Premier
curse.
League.
Yeah,
No.
know.
We know that. We know that he scored a lot.
No, but listen, if Gyökeres had just come straight from the Portuguese league and never touched English soil before, then I think that's when people may think, hmm. But he played in the championship and he banged, and everybody knows it's difficult in the championship, and he made it look easy.
Yeah.
So I have no reservations for Gyökeres to smash goals. I think he can. You just give him a chance and he'll do it. So it'll be interesting to see now because I think after last season too many fans, too many clubs complaining that the league wasn't competitive. The quality wasn't there. Now, now money is being thrown around like we're playing Monopoly. Yeah. Now, what excuse is there? No one's got no excuses. Don't want to hear anything. Oh, the league was competitive. Right, we've got Liverpool spending money, like they've robbed somebody, and then they're just gonna be like, oh, we've done some type of fraud. Chelsea are spending money. Arsenal are trying to spend money. So everybody is now has been eating and eating well and trying to, you know, right now, if you look get Eze, Arsenal squad's completed. Arsenal squad is completed.
Have you heard the murmurings though?
What?
Apparently, the plan is if they can get the outgoings they want, they'll get Eze. He'll be the number 10. Naturally, Odegaard would be benched.
They're not
And then
benching Odegaard.
Murmurings, man.
Even
Murmurings.
David will tell you
Come on,
this.
man.
and then it will
We've had this.
Come
The
on.
captain is not getting
and then
benched.
it will be Rodrigo on the left. That's
No,
that's
no.
what's
You know
been
what?
going around.
That's Rodrigo's not happening. And I'm not gonna go into any false pretenses, any false hope.
I
It's not
don't.
happening.
You,
Yeah.
Rodrigo will only happen if tomorrow Arsenal sell Trossard and
Yeah,
Martinelli.
exactly. Otherwise,
You're
we're not
not
getting.
selling
Yeah,
Martinelli
yeah.
because nothing. Do you know what? Speak about
Trossard,
Martinelli.
Trossard will sell, but
Yeah,
Trossard's a
he'll
conviction.
go.
Yeah.
Speaking about Martinelli, now I'm gonna put this out, and I'm gonna say the person's name, Mr. DT, ex Arsenal, ex AFTV, I don't know what you want to call him, staff or I don't know, you would call them pundits. I don't know what. So he does his own thing now. Now I see him on Twitter, and he was saying for the amount of money Liverpool sold Diaz, that's the benchmark if Arsenal are going to sell Martinelli. And I thought a lot, 90% on that, at least 95% of the comments were, you think Martinelli is worth 65 million? Like, how dare you put this? How dare you put Diaz and Martinelli in the same sentence? And I was just like, then you start talking about, uh, Diaz last season isn't the best of Martinelli season. But I say, what, 2022 Martinelli? We're looking at 3 years ago. Where has he been the last 2 seasons? There's no way anybody's paying 40 million, let alone 65 million for
No,
Martinelli.
I agree.
So,
I
David,
agree. I agree.
I'm
I
going to
agree.
ask you, I'm going to ask you now because when I'm seeing a price of something like 65 million, 65 million is not the price you pay for somebody who's not really wanted by their club.
You know what?
You know,
That's the reason why we're not going to sell him because it's almost like his peak. He hit his peak in 2000, what, 22, 23, whatever.
you think he's peaked?
No, I don't think he's peaked. Sorry, but I think it's hard to sell him now because we're not going to get the full value that we can get for him. Right.
So you feel
And
that by
he can do
bringing
better.
in,
He can do better. I think maybe in a season or two he's going to improve. If we bring in another left winger like Eze to compete against him, I think he can do better. He's had 2 bad seasons. I think he can improve. But we're not. If you sell him now, it's going to be like what, 30 to 40 million, and
Nah,
it's not really worth it. It's not worth it. Us selling him
but
right now.
if you had to, if you let's say that in order for you to get Eze, you had to sell Martinelli. what price tag you slapping on his back?
I'll say 45. 45 million. To be enthusiastic, Arsenal they might say 50 million. Yeah.
What nonny prices? Yeah, the 50.
You know what? I like Martinelli. I know some other Arsenal fans don't like him right now, but I like the way he works hard for the team. He closes down. He's got the energy for an Arsenal winger.
Sounds like you're talking about a left back.
I know, but I don't know, man. I know.
Sounds like you're talking.
Yeah.
Sounds like this is vibes of Stuart Downing playing left wing back for Brendan
Nah.
Rodgers.
Come on, man. Come
Listen,
on.
I think you guys are going in too tough on Martinelli a little while. He got 10 goals, 6 assists last season, and by no means
Ooh, look at you, Stato.
he's not look,
Ooh, look at
he
you. Come on with the stats.
No,
look
but
he's
if
he's
you
not
if you
Oh,
groundbreaking.
but if we compare him to Diaz, he went for how much? 65, yeah.
65 and he had 18 GA.
Yeah. I
No, it was more than that. 17 goals, 5 assists, something like that. Like 23 altogether, no?
That was just in the league because
yeah,
remember Champions League,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
got a hat trick and got a couple of assists as well. So I was just talking about his Premier League GAs
So you
was on
can't
point.
compare him. You can't compare him to Diaz. So
I
he's not going to go for
because I
65 million.
nah
but
because
there's
I
there's
would
so
have
much
happy
that
to have
goes
kept
into it
Diaz.
as well. Like, look, Diaz is 28,
His peak. Yeah, honestly.
Martinelli is 24.
Yeah.
Like that's a massive factor in today's market. So I think no,
Age is a
Martinelli,
big
look,
factor.
he's on big wages, 200k compared to Diaz's
He's on
55.
200.
Yeah.
Of
Martinelli.
course, but
Yeah,
we pay our players well, man. Like, and like
oh
Diaz
my
getting minimum
God,
wage. You know what
damn.
I mean? We pay our players well. We pay our players well.
What do you think he's got a smile on his face?
Oh
Diaz and
my days.
Kanate on
You're you
minimum wage, bro.
overpaying your
But now we're
players.
overpaying. Okay.
Overpaying your
We're
players.
looking after our players.
Listen,
That
I
would
don't want
not.
to hear about overpaying, man. Salah 400, Van Dijk
Yeah.
400, Ekiteke. Look,
All right,
listen,
all right.
250.
Okay.
What,
Should
Isak,
I break it down for you boys? Because now we're on the subject of talking
Your
contracts.
oldest
Should I
players
break it
get the
down for you?
highest wages. All
Should
the
I?
pensions. All
This
the
guy.
pensioners get the highest wages. So
So let me then it'll be good to come to Liverpool then when you're old. Let me break it down to you, yeah? Van Dijk and Salah, they're an anomaly, yeah? We're not gonna have those players again to that quality. And they're still good for what they are. So we're not gonna sell them. So keep them comfortable, and as long as they're ticking along and still playing very well, we will keep the best in the business. We're talking about the best centre back in world football,
Mhm.
allegedly, and we've got the best right winger in world football, allegedly. So that is how much important they are to the team that we needed to keep them because replacing them will cost us a hell of a lot of money, and they might not even be that good. Because who do you bring in to replace what Salah gives? Who? Do we go for Saka? Do we go for who do we buy that's going to be better than what he brings in? There isn't. So you give him that wage. Same as Van Dijk. Who's better than him in that position that
To be honest, the player I would have brought in to allow Salah, like over the next 2 years, to slowly be phased out would have been Rooney Bargi. But he went to
he went to
Barcelona.
Barcelona. I don't even there. I don't know what he's going to do because he's 20 what 2021 and the person in front of him is just turned 18. So unless there's mad rotation, I don't see why they bought this guy. United I think wanted him and he didn't go. But Barca, but anyway, that's another story for another day. But yeah, so those two will always be sorted out. But I always said from when we give these men these contracts, everybody else is gonna start knocking on the door when it comes to their renewal. And then this is when Liverpool would then not look at the player in terms of loyalty, they'll look at them as in terms of output. What
Mm.
have you done over the last 2, maybe 3 years, depending on how long you've been here?
Mm.
Now, I'll tell you right now, if Kanate wasn't ever present like Van Dijk, there will be no qualms in Liverpool dropping him 200,000 a week. They're looking at Kanate as, you know what? If somebody comes in for about 60, 65 mil, we'll sell him. We would sell him because he'll miss maybe around a month, month and a half of a season. And that could be really crucial, especially if you don't have the same quality as a backup. So I feel like at any point, Kanate could be sold, even before this whole transfer thing. But his partnership with Van Dijk has been rock solid, which has helped.
I
Now
get that, but
Diaz,
don't you think, wait, before we move on to Diaz, Konate, couldn't you just put him on a contract where he is earning a higher salary, but it's contingent on him staying fit?
but they do that with players who are like 32, 33, and their ankles are rotting, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna put you on this pay per play contract and all that type of stuff." No, give the man the 200,000 a week because I feel it's disrespectful to have. Yes, fair enough, you're the club captain, Van Dijk, but you can't be on almost 400,000 a week and your defensive partner is on like 70 or whatever it is that he's on. I feel like it really doesn't make sense. Bringing him to 200,000 a week, is it fair? Well, when you've got, as you said, when you've got Martinelli on 200,000 a week, his agent must be sitting around thinking, bruv, you've got my guy who you're better than. Like your top five centre backs in not just the Premier League, but probably within I'll say top 10 in world football.
Hmm.
If we're gonna look at it like that. So you should be paid what they're getting. Mike and the guys at Real Madrid, the guys at PSG, they're making peace and they're playing in a lesser league than you with the riches that Liverpool have. Nah, this ain't great. Madrid can give you money. So I get it where he's at. I want him to stay. I like the partnership and I feel that Konate is absolute brute, it's absolute beast. But if Liverpool feel that they could bring somebody who could be a bit more stable, then they'll do it and get some profit on Konate. If the move isn't there, they'll just give Konate the money. But I feel that they feel that there are people there that can replace Konate. I don't know. But Diaz, he is unfortunately he is a victim of the model of we bring players in at 22, 23, 24 years old, have them for a little while. Then if a bid comes in for them, and we've not rinsed them, but they've done well the last few years, and they come into like that 28, 29 part, maybe 30, sell him. Now, unfortunately, he came in from Porto, where Porto were probably paying him 15 to 20,000 a week. That's guaranteed. Probably even less. We don't know, but we have to look at Portuguese league. People think these guys are balling. They're probably balling for their league, but compared to us in the Premier League, they're making peanuts. So they probably tripled his wages. Cool. When it comes close to renewal, he'll be in a position to maybe double it, depending on his output. His output last season, he deserved to double, so at least double. So he told him, listen, it's either you give me the new contract, I'm happy to stay, or you sell me. So we're like, okay, well, where do you want to? Where's the interest coming from? There was murmurs of Barcelona, those murmurs of Saudi. I think his heart was set on Barca. Barca showed the interest. That's when he said, I'll happily stay, but if not, I'll find a new chapter in my life with my family. We're gonna leave. Bayern Munich heard of this and made moves. So Liverpool saw it as this. We've got him when he was like 24, 10 and 25. He's now 28. He's done a lot for us. We bought him for 35, 37 million, around that kind of price. And we're now can probably get 65 mil. It's business and it's the model. You can get for almost double what you got him for, and you could probably replace him for someone younger.
Hmm.
They'll do it, and they're gonna do it. And now we've got young Rio Ngomba. I think that's how you say his name. You know how these Congolese boys are with these names or wherever he's from.
Yeah, the Chelsea boy that you stole from us, man.
We can't steal what you didn't want.
No, you stole him. Come on,
You can't
let's keep it
steal what
real.
you didn't want.
We
You
wanted
know,
him. You guys just you started whispering in his ear, telling him how you're
no.
gonna give him the world.
Do you know what the thing what you lot do? You lot will have all these youth players. You make them play all of these different tournaments and stuff and blah 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 blah. Then you bring them back and then you send when they turn back 18, you send 20 to 30 of them on loan. You fill up the whole Dutch league.
Can't do that
with
anymore, man. That's
with
years ago. You need to be up to date with
anyway.
the
But
times.
he's seen it, and he saw that I want a clearer path to the first team. When Liverpool came and talked to him, they said, "Listen, this is where you're going to slot in."
Hmm.
How was man's over 17 yet, and he's scoring on tour? Do you feel that he would have been? What 16-year-old is on tour now with the Chelsea first team?
We didn't have a preseason. We had no
Okay,
preseason.
but you didn't take any 16-year-olds with you to the Club World Cup.
Yeah, because we were there to get the W,
No,
one of the 111
no
million
one,
pounds.
no one. There's no new 16-year-olds
Man,
coming
the squad
through in
is
the
too
Chelsea
big back
first
then.
team.
Their squad is too
Mm.
big to take on anyone.
Exactly. The squad is too inflated. He probably saw like, yo, there's 22
Yeah.
man in front of me.
But look, I get what you're saying. I think, well, I get where you're coming from. Across the squad, there are plenty of players that come through the academy and they've been given clear paths. And we're seeing that with the way Chelsea are now maneuvering in the market, where we're now sending a lot of the players we do want to develop, but we want to give them the game time, guaranteed game time. So we're sending them to Strasbourg. We're sending them for all sorts of clauses. We can buy them back, that sort of stuff, so they can get the game time. And look, if you're up to par, then cool, we'll bring you back and you can compete for your place. But if you're not gonna make the cut, then we'll make some sort of money from selling you on to whichever club you go to. So there is a pathway, one where you will get to the level you're meant to be at. But if you're good enough to be part of the squad, then there is a very clear-cut path. Like Josh Achimpong is there, he's been getting game time. Tyreek George got plenty of game time this season, and now they're sorting out their futures because we're like, all right,
Yeah, but George is getting time because people like Noni were not performing.
and that's the whole point.
Like you lot are signing a lot of players of similar age, so it's kind of frightening for people. It's like who am I actually replace? Because if you go and spend big bread on
Hmm.
someone young, you need to see your investment
Hmm.
flourish. You need to see them grow. It's yeah. Some of these players, like what's his name, Chukwemeka,
Hmm.
was he really ever given a fair chance to show what he could do at Chelsea?
He was popping off, and then unfortunately, like him and no, who was the other? Leslie
Leslie
Ugochukwu.
Ogochukwu, yeah. My Nigerian brothers, you're killing them. What are you doing?
Poor injuries, bad time. So look, they're the right player, but just wrong place, wrong time. Where he was West Ham, we were dictating the match, we were winning, and the moment he got injured and he came off the pitch, we lost that match. So he like that's the thing. If that hadn't happened, I'm almost certain the way he would be at right now would be different. But in that time that he was injured, you had the rise of like Cole Palmer and all these other players that got opportunities. So it's just one of them. Bad luck.
Okay, well, as we are still talking about Chelsea, I'll go with my next unpopular opinion. Okay, and that is if you sign Xavi Simons, which looks likely, Xavi Simons will outshine Cole Palmer.
Who's to say they're going to occupy the same position if they play?
They won't.
No, they won't.
I
Mm.
feel like Xavi Simons is going to be locked in as the 10, Cole Palmer back on to the right hand side, and Xavi's going to be the kingpin in that midfield.
So I'm of the belief, look, we're under no pressure to sell Jackson. But if we sell him, we sell him. And likewise Nkuku. But I think Nkuku it's more sure of a sure thing he's going to be going. I think Xavi Simons, right now, as it stands, without buying another player to play on the left, he will play between the left and as the number 10.
Hmm.
If he plays as the number 10, Cole playing his preferred position out on the right. And then it will be Esteval that will obviously slowly be introduced into the squad and not be chucked in the deep end. He'll be playing as kind of like the understudy to Simmons, which makes sense given the experience they have. And then out on the right, obviously behind Palmer, you'll have Neto, who's a completely different option, complete workhorse, can contribute with his crosses and do all sorts. And we still have Gittins out on the left as well. So I think there's plenty of options, but it really does depend. If this rumor that we are going to get Garnacho for 30 million comes to fruition, then I think that affects a lot of the dynamics of the squad. But like has been put out there, we want 9 forwards across the number 10, the left, the right, and up top. So we want 9 options because we want to play that fluid system where effectively like whoever we play cannot prepare against us. So we'll have players basically rotating positions and everything, and it will make it very difficult to play. So I think that's the vision as to whether it comes to be. we'll have to wait and see until we have our final squad on match day.
What's your first game of the season?
Crystal Palace.
Ooh, it's a tough one then.
London one, London derby.
The
Not as
London
hard as Man
derby.
United.
Is it?
Man United, come on, man. Come on.
You guys always choke against them, man.
You know what?
We'll do it, Man
I
United.
feel
We'll
that
do it,
is
Man United.
that is going to be a big game. I feel like with people like Cunha and Buemo there, they're a bit more dangerous. But that is only it. I think that third of the pitch is where they're. But
See,
everything
that
else,
match is all about Daddy versus the son. It's going to be Amarim versus Gyokores. That's what it's going to be about.
I think the defense of Man U, I think we will have too much for them. The defense hasn't improved that much, or they haven't bought any defenders, have they? So I don't think they're strong enough. They still got Casemiro as a DM. They still got Casemiro DM. Who also got Fernandes is getting older. Yeah, they got Mbeumo, they got Cunha, they got Hoyland. But come on, man. I don't think.
so okay, Man United, no issue there. They're gonna be to the side. They're nothing. But if Chelsea do make these new signings, Hato and Simmons, David, are you getting worried about Chelsea?
Well, like I said, Chelsea are world champions. So they won the Club World Cup with merit. I
Oh, you
think.
started it now. You started it. Wow.
You know it's coming. You
No,
know
Wow.
it's
no, no.
coming.
I'm just
I
saying.
One
thought,
fucking
how
second.
long were we gonna? We almost went one hour without mentioning that, and then
No,
you just gone
it's
and just.
it's obviously fact, isn't it?
God damn.
They're world champions. They beat PSG, the best team, best team in Europe. I think Chelsea have
Wait,
earned the right.
listen, Alex is there laughing. Wait, didn't you both get knocked out of the Champions League by PSG?
Wait, we're in the Champions League.
No, we weren't. But we won
Shut
on.
up, man. Shut up.
Unfortunately, you can't.
You were playing Kew
Unfortunately,
Gardens. You were playing Kew Gardens in the third tier of European competition, yeah? So don't talk to us. You weren't even in the competition to talk that thing that because PSG were there because they won. You lot were there because you did it 4 years ago. So let's not
we won it 4 years ago.
let's not talk about that. Yeah? Let's not. You weren't even you came fourth in your league, you played in the third tier of the European competition, and you want to talk world champions, yeah?
Did we win though?
Shut up. Shut up. You're playing Kew Gardens
Look,
in the semi-final. You played what were they called? What was the name of that team?
which one? The Gardens.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played against them.
What was the name? What's the name of the team?
What did you Gardens or
Gardens.
however you
Okay,
pronounce it?
who's the captain?
Who knows?
Who's the number 10?
Who knows?
Who's the centre back?
Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. You hear what I'm saying?
Well,
PSG had to go and beat Liverpool. They had to go and beat Villa. They had to go. They had to beat Arsenal. You're playing people. We don't not even play football full time. And then yeah, fair enough. One-off game, you beat PSG, and you think they're the best team in the world. Shut up.
you know
Do
what?
you know what?
You know what? It's really the example of knockout
You
football.
got lucky. You got
No-
lucky.
Knockout football. So Chelsea won the game, but anyone can
Very
win knockout
much.
football. Pretty much.
Very much lucky.
Listen, all I'm going to say, that match wasn't luck. That match was a
No,
clinical masterclass.
you played excellent game plan, executed perfectly. But you know what it's almost like? It's almost like this. You and your boys for years. You've been going to the same club. You've been trying to dine at the same table. You, the Chelsea fan, you've always not that you broke or nothing, but you're not like the other boys. Like you're not wearing the same garms, you're not getting the same girls, you're not eating in the same places as your boys. And then one day, for some strange reason, somebody gives you some money or somebody gives you a Zava discount card, and then you go and get some nice clothes, and then you step to the club, and then you put the baddest girl in the club. Nobody saw it coming. Said, we've been coming here for the ages. We've been eating nicely. You, who's been going to be at one, how you coming to tape and bagging girls who are in the VIP with Chris Brown, or you've been to be at one from dealing with the girls from Ealing, yeah, who are drunk by 9:30, yeah, you're on a VIP tape with bottles going, hey, hey. They're like, bounce like, I didn't see you here before, brother. I'm new. That's what it's like for you boys right now. Is the fact that There's nothing saying about your season, last season, that merits world champions. Do you hear me?
apart from winning the whole tournament.
There's nothing warrant. Listen, bruv. If you were in that if you were in that tournament, would you say Chelsea are world champions?
I agree. If you're not entered in a tournament, it's impossible to win. You're correct.
To be fair, I think Chelsea are a threat this season. Well, in the
They
coming
definitely
season, they'll
are.
be a
They
threat. I think
definitely
they've
are. They
earned the
definitely.
right. They've earned the right. They've spent the money. They've earned the right,
You
and
earned
they've
the
got
right
the
because you
players.
spent the money. You had to. You can't be spending all this money and
Well,
it for it not to click. What's that saying that they say? You keep throwing shit at the wall until it sticks.
all I'm saying
Now
is
it's
we're
sticking.
talking about spending money. Arsenal's net spend is on track to be higher than Chelsea's come the end of
I
this
don't. We
transfer
don't.
window.
I don't, do not. I tell
So
you
if
this
we're
right
talking
now.
about peas,
I
they've spent
tell
more
you this
peas.
right now. I don't even care about how much money people send now. Spend the bread and have the right people bring you the trophies. If you're spending all this bread and all you're getting is third-rate European titles, don't talk to me. Don't be spending all this bread, come second, and still want to be chatting about people who spend bread. You spend bread, but you're second every fucking year.
But just bear in mind, we played in the third tier because Man City couldn't do their job against Man United in the FA Cup final. That's the only reason we played in the Conference League. So bear in mind the context. It wasn't our choice.
So do you think you would? So do you feel that you were good enough to win the Europa?
110%. 110%.
Yeah, it would have beat Tottenham and Man United. I think Chelsea would have beat Tottenham.
That
United
final would
was a
have
bit.
been 5-0.
Yeah, they would have won
Easy.
that game. I don't think you would have won the Champions League though. I don't think
No, no, no,
I
no.
don't think you'd
See,
have got
now
far. And
that's
and,
a
and
good
that's
question
and that's
there.
the killer. That's the killer
That
because
is a good question there.
Because
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 in
the funniest thing, because before you even start anything, sorry, don't mean to cut you off, but before I feel this, before before you went into World Club Cup, out of the teams that were in the last eight, would you say that you were confident to say we could go home and away against all of them and still get to the final and win the competition?
the last day, who was can't even remember the top of my head.
So you've got Inter, you've got okay, well, okay, sorry, call it last 16
Hmm.
because I still feel there was still a lot of teams in there. There's Liverpool there, there's Villa, there's Barca, there's Dortmund, there's Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, Real Madrid.
But here's the thing, like I was looking at all the teams still left in the tournament, and I was saying I wasn't really scared of Madrid like that because Madrid haven't been themselves this last season. So I was just like, you know what, on our day we could probably have them like right now because we're in form. As to whether that's going to be sustained over a longer period, I even said it in the build-up. I said there's something about us being underdogs that we just like brandishing that title. Every time that happens, every time people write us off, whether it's 2012 against Bayern in their own backyard, whether it's Man City at the peak of their powers with Pep in 2021, every time someone writes us off, we rise to the challenge, and history has
But
shown that.
but I don't know. Should it be? Can you really? Can you really? Is it fair to spend the amount of money you lot to spend over the last 10 years? It's something like 2 point something billion and still
Mhm.
be called underdogs. Is that fair to say? I
But
don't think it
our net spend
is.
is less than Man United,
Forget your 10.
Arsenal.
No,
But no,
bruv.
but that's the thing.
definitely
Forget
What
not
your
you need
net
to
underdogs, man.
spend.
understand.
Come on, definitely not
Forget your net
underdogs.
spend.
What you need to bear in mind is
You
this,
can't
yeah.
be an underdog and spend 2 point
But
something billion in the space of 10 years more than
it's
everybody.
not 2 point something billion.
It
Where are you
is
pulling these
over the
figures?
last 10 years.
Oh, 10 years. Oh, you're going back what into
Not
the
even that.
old
It's less than
ownership.
10 years. It's less than 10
No,
years.
yeah, but I think it was a 10-year period that they've done that they the amount of money Chelsea have spent.
Hmm.
So they spent the most. Forget net over 2 billion has been
Hmm.
spent on your squad
But the
in the
only reason
last
we
10
can spend that money
years.
is because we are like top six clubs. Let's forget the rest of them that are like looking to make their pennies, whether it be Brighton or whoever else is trying to make a quick buck.
You're
The
making
fact
Brighton rich.
but the thing is, all the players we bought off them have been either quality or bare minimum at the very least. We haven't had any flops. As bad as Sanchez is, Sanchez showed up in the most crucial moment, and he won us a game that gave us effectively £30 million almost.
Listen, Sancho was as useful as Darwin Núñez was for Liverpool.
Yeah, and I agree
Like
with that. He's not the
Darwin
quality.
would come off the bench and win a game
But he
like
was moving
that.
like new
But
in that match. My guy was on fire. And cool, he's not going to win us the Prem, and I'll admit that first. But on that day,
Consistency.
he showed up.
Showed up when you kind of needed it, but
But look, we wouldn't be able to spend this money as much as people like pocket watch and they're like, oh, you're spending X, Y, Z. The simple matter of the fact, even this transfer window, it illustrates it. Without add-ons included, we don't even need to talk about add-ons. We've brought in 160 million pounds, and we're not done yet. We'll probably bring in 200 and something, maybe even
yeah, because
300,
you got to sell like
because
got
we've
to sell like 10
stacked
players.
players. Because yeah, and that's fine.
It's
It's a business
ridiculous, man.
model. Maybe
Yeah, obviously.
Liverpool,
Yeah,
Arsenal don't
yeah.
agree with it,
Yeah,
but the reason
it
we
is.
can shift these players is because everyone's on low wages. So whilst your Salah's and Van Dijk's on 400k, Caicedo's on 160, Cuckoo's on 160,
No,
Cole Palmer's on 120,
you can't compare
but
Salah
we can shift our
and
players
VVD. These guys have put in 8 years in this team. They've done it all. Like they've got the scars, they've put the sweat. Can't compare that to signing a 19-year-old, put him on 50 grand a
Okay,
week,
okay, Eki
and then
Teki
sell
then
him in
250.
2 years. Yeah, but going back to that, this is what it take. This is what it is now. Liverpool have jumped into a new into what it into. We want that guy. We'll pay what he wants. It's got into that now. Before Liverpool are kind of dictating what we're gonna. Well, they still kind of dictate what we're gonna pay you. But let's think about it now. Etitike, out of all the strikers available right now, at his age, he's probably top top three, top five, top three, easy. 22, 23 years old. Who are they comparing to? Benjamin Sesko. Benjamin Sesko and Hugo Etitike are the two sharpest, brightest forwards which everybody is looking at in European football. Then you have people who were looking good, fell off. Gonzalo Ramos at PSG. He was rated up there, but he's kind of like sunk into the shadows. But he pops up now and then with a goal here and there. So with him asking for 250, it's almost like, yeah, we'll give it to you because one, we lost Jota. Two, we're gonna get rid of Nunes, so the money's there for you. And three, we're just gonna go and take Isak as well. So
Mm.
to have that kind of firepower now for TK and Isak is going to be nasty if we get him.
But I think the issue in your squad is the difference in no, it's a difference in wages, because if you got Salah and Van Dijk, it's the actual the effect it has on the team, right? So
It's yeah,
all the people looking at Salah and Van Dijk, or they're getting that much money, I'm not even getting half that. It
because
creates an atmosphere in the
it
club
and it
sometimes.
and it has it
Yeah,
has because
yeah.
anybody now who's come into Liverpool in the last 2 years have got the last 2 year wages. So your Gravenberchs, your Szoboszlais, your McAllisters, Gakpos, your Nunes, all have come in for the last 2 to 3 years. What have they had? They're all in the 120 plus team.
Mm.
Above them, you've got Robertson, Allison, Dyke, Salah. Oh, the boys have been sitting there for a very long time. That's them. And then you've got the fringe players who are now making their marks. Your Curtis Jones, your Elliots, who are on the 45 to 60 type. Unfortunately, Kanate is there with them. As is there with them, Diaz needed to be where the rest of the midfield are, on the 120s, the 150s. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened and he's gone. Cool. Now we've got the new guys who are gonna power and make and stay with Liverpool for the next 10 years. Your Wirtz, your TKs, they're coming in for 200,000 a week because they're literally the best in their position at their age. Then you've got people like Kirkes and Frimpong who are going to be around the 65 to 70 because they're probably getting 20, 25 where they were. So they probably doubled, tripled their wages. And then they'll probably have more incentives in their contracts, which will boost them up both of them will probably be close to the 100,000 by the end of the season, or by the end of next season. I do believe anybody joining Liverpool now is going to be eating well. Renewals are going to be, well, how important are you to the team? You know, do I want to go elsewhere? So this is what Elliot is now thinking because Liverpool can easily keep him. We don't need to sell him. But we know that at his age and where his football's going, you can't be player of the tournament at the under 21s and only getting 2 starts in the season. So you either want me to back up, I'm happy to back up, or I want to go. I want to do a Cole Palmer. Fuck it, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I don't want this. I know what I can do. I don't want this sitting on bench, coming on in League Cups. I might
Mm.
start that one Premier League team. I can start. And man went and made a move, and Chelsea got him. Best business. People will talk about Liverpool going and buying Salah for 37 million. Chelsea have gone and bought their own Salah, or you had Salah. You'd have gone and done your own thing there. You went put was it 35, 40 million you
No, it
paid for?
was 40, maybe 45, 40, yeah, around there.
All right, 40 million. Business, business. Those are moves.
Mm.
Now people can see Palmer for who he is. When I was at Man City, it was flashes of brilliance. All eyes were on Phil Foden. You're gonna have players that in their position, they're gonna be the best in that age bracket at that time, and they're going to command a fee. You're
Mm.
gonna pay them what they want. Isak's easily gonna come and get. I reckon they'll put him on because he was asking Newcastle for 300,000 a week. Liverpool not giving him 300,000 a week. It's only because it's like, okay, why am I gonna stay here? They're gonna say to him, well, we can challenge to stay in the top four, and we can give you Champions League football. Yeah, compete, but you're not gonna win it. I
Mm.
want to win it. So if you want me to stay here, you're gonna have to fill my pockets. I would stay at Newcastle and have chances of winning silverware at 300,000 a week, or I go and join a bigger team and they can pay me what you pay me, but I have that silverware now.
Mm.
Oh, we can't give you that 300,000 a week. Sell me. Sell me because they want me. They want me. So let me go. And that's why it's kicking off. Because a normal, sensible guy like Izzy doesn't know that somebody who causes trouble. He don't. So it
Mm.
was either he put Newcastle in a tricky situation. The only way I'm gonna stay here if I don't really, I'm not saying I don't like it here, but I don't really see any progression. The only thing that's gonna satisfy me is if you make me the highest paid player in your history and make me one of the highest paid players in the league. You can't do that. All right,
Do
let
you
me get those
think the fact
trophies.
that Newcastle have only made one signing and they've been swiped by pretty much every other bigger club up to this point had some bearing on his decision? Like where he was like, raw, like there's levels to this. Newcastle aren't going to be quite there, and they're not giving me the piece. So you know what? I'm going to leave.
Are not big outside Newcastle. I'm being real. Newcastle are not big outside being Newcastle. So it's not even about location. I don't care what anybody says. I've been to Newcastle. Newcastle's a nice place. I'm not Espanol. I'm not Brazilian. How much do you care about the rain when they're paying you 350,000 a week? You don't care. You playing on the best pitches in the best conditions, best training, best doctors. Your life is taken care of compared to what you were having before. So any move to the Premier League is brilliant. This is why you had people like Matis Cunha. Matis Cunha was at Atletico Madrid. He could have happily stayed there and fought for his place and live in Madrid. Man went to Wolverhampton. Now he's at Man United. Historically, Man United a big club. Brian Mbeumo. He's only joining Man United because Man United. He probably, as a kid, played football. Man United, Man United, Man United.
Hmm.
Nobody will talk about Newcastle. So even no one, Man United, not even in the Champions League. Newcastle are. We would say nobody in the right mind is joining Manchester United, but there are players who will still do that for the fact that they're a bigger club globally, and they'll probably they'll pay me more.
All about the Benjamins.
Yeah, that's not the wages, man.
They'll still give those wages. So
They're on 250 each, by the way.
it's yeah, to see that 250. He was probably on like 35 at Brentford, you know. So to get 250, boy, no wonder it took them almost 2 months to sign him. He was like, because Newcastle are not giving him 250. Because if Newcastle said to him, we'll give you 250, he would have got Newcastle.
Mhm.
No one's challenging Mbuemo in that. So I don't care how many assists Jacob Murphy got last season. Mbuemo is clear of him and would start if Newcastle were able to sign Mbuemo. I reckon Isak stays. I reckon Isak stays, but he sees Liverpool buying Verts, buying improving the team. Then they went and bought Etitike. He's like, bruv, you're supposed to come play with me at Newcastle. Now he's at Liverpool, bruv. I think that house next door, that's where I want to be. Invite me to the party.
Mm.
Invite me to the party. And that's really what it comes down to is what are they doing over there? Fair enough. They got knocked out of the Champions League. We'll talk about Liverpool now. They got knocked out of the Champions League. But let's be real. That was it. Would we call it tight? If Liverpool had won the shootout and they had gone through, who would you never know. Semi-final against we would have played Villa we would have played Villa in the quarters, knocked them out, come to Arsenal the semis, and you would never know. But again, it's there where you're outside the club trying to get in, and that's how I feel he is. Yes, they beat us in the final and won the League Cup. We won that League Cup 12 seasons in a row. Like no, we didn't really. No one really cares. Harvey Elliott, have you seen his trophy? What he's achieved, and he's only 22. Man's got 2 League Cups, he's got FA Cup, he's got 2 Prem Leagues, he's got World Club Cup, and
Mm.
Isak is there with just the League Cup. So it's like, nah, these guys are doing Champions League every season. They're not fighting to stay in the top four. They are the top four. We're fighting. They scraped it on the last day of the season to get back into the Champions League. And they lost to
Mm.
Everton. They just got lucky that Villa lost as well. Because they'll be playing Europa League football. And I think that's when, if that had happened, I reckon that's when he would have handed a transfer request. But he thought, you got Champions League football, I'm going to stay. But now Liverpool came in with a bid. We got the money. He's sitting there waiting. He's sitting there. He sat there and thought, Newcastle they're gonna take this money. They need to rebuild this squad because outside of Tonali, Joe Linton, and Gyokores, they ain't really got nothing. They don't. What? Sean Longstaff. Now he's gone to Leeds. They sold what's his name to Nottingham Forest? Anderson, Elliot Anderson.
Elanga.
No, I'm not talking about Langa. I'm talking about Elliot Anderson. They
Oh,
sold
no.
him. He was
And they
the
bought Elanga.
next. He was supposed to be the next guy. I don't even see that one. 40 million pound, Nottingham Forest. He's balling out for Forest. If Joe Linton gets injured, who plays in that midfield? What you
Mm.
putting Joe Willock? Nah. But anyway, boys, I think it's time to kind of like wrap this up. I think we've had some real popular opinions. There were some that I did scour the net to find some unpopular opinions, but some of these were kind of old. But I thought this was funny. One of them was this. All right, Jude Bellingham won't hit double figures next season. That's an unpopular opinion. I think it's because of Ramsey didn't do too well last season. Another one is you're gonna laugh at this one. Mudryk is just a Ukrainian Traore with the drugs. um,
Mhm.
and Ten Hag is just Dutch Moyes. I wonder what he's gonna do at Bayern Leverkusen.
That's a weird
Imagine
appointment.
Yeah.
that.
Weird
Yeah.
appointment.
Yeah.
I just feel like he was just a victim of Manchester United.
Yes.
That's all
Yeah.
it is. He's just a
Yeah.
victim. I think there's an actual good coach there. We just didn't see it. He got what? He got 2 finals. He got two. What? He won 2 trophies, isn't it?
I think we spoke about this a while ago where you could see he was trying to introduce a style of football the first few matches, but I think it must have been at Brentford or one of them where they got absolutely trounced. And then the next match, from there onwards, they were just playing like the standard style of football, trying to grind out results. There was no more philosophy trying to be implemented. It was just results, results, results. And it didn't work for him in the end.
No, it didn't work. It didn't work. Well, we'll see what happens with him when he's over there in Germany now. Back to where he started his coaching. All right. So, guys, thank you for your participation today. Remember, folks, like, comment, subscribe. We want to grow. If you want to see more of this, please Share it, like it, comment. I want to hear what your unbiased opinion is, and I will be checking the comments, and if I see some good ones, I'll read them out on the next show. But see us again next week. Hopefully there'll be a bit more of us. I think it's like it's people are in their pre-seasons and they're away on holiday in like Hong Kong and Singapore. That's a lie. They're in Peckham. Anyway, um, guys, thank you so much, and peace and love. Take care.
Peace.